Hello. We have Tracy. Don't wave yet. I'm starting the introductions. We have Tracy today. She'll be helping us with today's class. We want to stand nice and tall, relaxed. It's a little bit taller than Tracy. She's quite short. Arms nice and loose next to each other body. Knees nice and relaxed. Feet parallel to each other. Don't have the chest over. It might feel like you are standing up straight, but make sure you are lengthening up out of that back. Don't want to hunch over. Shoulders rolling forward. So nice extension at the back. We don't lead with the hips, so we're not sending up tall to the detriment of the lower spine. We're going to keep that nicely in line. Leg down the back might be tough. Shoulders back, not going to move yet. Just going to fill up those lungs. So a nice deep inhale, leaving that chest to open up. And exhale out. Good, so keeping that chest nice and open still. Deep inhale and exhale. Nice letting out those breaths. Let's do 3 more. In and exhale to the left. Deep inhale and exhale out. Good. We'll be using the band today, but before we get to that part, we're going to just loosen up the spine, get it ready for what we're about to do. Keep the arms loose, tip the head over to the left and then the right. So over to the right, over to the right. Weight shifts onto the right foot, but also the shoulders a little bit as well. Feel like we're just curving that spine nicely. Weight on the right foot, relaxing those arms, don't feel like the shoulders are rolling forward. 3, 2, 1, and slowly restack up. When we restack, don't feel like your head comes up first, feel like you are hanging that head loose until the very end. Over to the left, head falls over, and the shoulders go along with it. Tracy's doing a good job of keeping the shoulders and the hips in line and not twisting or curving in front of each other. And now we restack that spine up top, head comes over last. Over to the right, heavy onto that right foot, shoulders hanging loose, out the neck, out that shoulder. 2, 1, and slowly up. Tipping over to the left, heavy up that left side, hanging nice and loose, knees staying a little bit relaxed, don't feel like you're locking anything there. 3, 2, 1, and up. Let's increase the stretch. We can include the arms now. Left arm goes up towards the ceiling. Before we tip over, make sure that this isn't in the ear. We don't want to have the shoulder blade being propped up or being pulled up by the upper traps. We want to keep that nice and low. We tip over to the right, and we keep this arm nice and straight. So there's a tendency sometimes to want to curve the spine to look pretty. We want to have that arm nice and extended so we can really get an activation at the back of the shoulder with that reach. This arm is hanging loose, dangling, so there's a bit of weight on that right foot. 3, 2, 1, and we slowly stand up. Changing arms, right arm up once again above the shoulder, not on the neck. Fall over to the left. Nice weight. Shifting onto the left side. Left arm hanging loose, out that shoulder. For 3, 2, 1, and slowly up. Let's change arms, left arm high, tipping over to the right, opening up those ribs, weight is shifted onto that right foot, for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly up. Changing arms, right arm high, and we fall over to the left side, nice length, opening up of those ribs, weight on that left foot, keep that length for 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Last one, each way, left arm high, and we tip over to the right side, getting a nice horizontal flex of that spine. This shoulder is going to, or this arm's going to come up and grab this wrist. So we get a bit of tug extra on that arm, opening up those ribs a little bit more, keeping that pull for 4, 3, 2, 1, let go, don't come up, don't come up. Now this top arm, that shoulder rolls forward, and we keep this bottom arm dangling. Now while we rotate it, there's a tendency for this hip to go forward. It can on the initial drop or the fall forward. Then I want to feel like we're pulling this hip back, so we're almost cranking it back, so it's back in line, still keeping that shoulder where it is, so we can really get that stretch over that mid back, over those ribs. 3, 2, 1, untwist the top only, and then we stand up tall. Good, we can go to the left now, right arm high, and we tip over to the left side. Now straight arm to begin with. We don't grab that wrist yet, we just keep it nice and long out that shoulder. This arm stays loose. 3, 2, 1, grab the wrist with that left hand, getting a little bit of extra pull, still keeping those hips nice and square, length out those shoulders. 3, 2, 1, let go, don't come up yet, let go of the wrist, let the shoulder fall forward, so we get that twist from the mid back. Once we're there, we try and pull this right hip back so that's more in line with that other hip, really going to get that tug and pull over the lower back. 3, 2, 1, untwist, still staying over, and then we restack up all the way. Nice and tall, lowering that right arm down. When we get a bit of back work or a bit of extension out the back, Standing up tall, head is nice and tucked in. We shift the weight back first into the heels, and then the head goes up to the ceiling. We don't push those hips forward. We keep the hips nicely over the heels, and the head just goes up. You get a bit of extension now. Watching those hips, move them back a little bit for me. These hips, move the weight, that's it, and the head goes up. Good, that's all we have. Chin a bit higher if we can. Might be tight in the back. 2, 1, and lower down. So I don't want us to get that. That's not doing any extension of the back, we're just hurting that lower back. We keep those hips not even a little bit forward, nicely over the heels. And the head just goes up, and we get as much range as we can from that mid back. If we're tight, we might not get a lot. Then we don't have to cheat by pushing those hips forward just as much as that back will allow, looking up to the ceiling. Let your head feel like it's clipped off the back of the body, and shift a bit of weight forward. Let's go again. Weight goes back into the heels, head goes up. This is a small extension from that back. It's not about range, don't push those hips forward. Nice weight back, 2, 1, and bring the weight forward. And last 2, shifting the weight into the heels. It's almost like we're leaning back. And keep that length out the back, 3, 2, 1, and forward. And last one, shifting the weight back into the heels, and head goes up. Good, get the extension from that middle back and upper back. Keep it there, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the weight forward. Let's stretch out the back or the spine now. We're going to roll forward, deep inhale, and exhale, tuck, rolling through, get the weight in front, arms hanging loose into those toes, weight stays in front, hanging into the feet, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly restacking up. Nice and tall. So you don't want to feel like your back's holding onto too much. We want to feel that break up of that spine. Don't feel like we're just lunking forward. I want to feel that curve in that spine. Good. That's fine. We now pass the epilogue. We're now going to go into the act 1. Tuck the chin, auto change, and rolling through that spine. Keeping the weight slightly in front of those hips. Nice and loose. Hanging into the feet. Don't have the weight all the way in the heels. You want to keep it in front of the body. 2, 1, and let's slowly restack up. And we do mean slowly, so we do feel activation through those vertebrae. Keep that chin tucked in. Back's going to get nice and long first. And then we open up those shoulders at the end. And again, tuck that chin, curving forward, waist stays in front, mounting through that spine, nice and heavy in the toes, hanging into those feet. Nice and loose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly rebuilding up, keeping that chin in as long as we can till the very end. We open up that chest. Let's go last 3. Tuck that chin, really trying to stretch out that back. If it's tight, it's tight, it's fine. No need to throw your body all into it. Just let it give as much as it can. Melting into the feet. Weight stays in the toes, hanging out of those shoulders. 3, 2, 1, and slowly up. Nice and smooth. All the way, shoulders staying loose, and a little bit back. Last 2, and tuck the chin, rolling forward, getting that weight in front, hanging into the feet, arms nice and heavy. Good, nice weight in front for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly restacking up. Nice and smooth all the way on top of those hips. Last one, and tuck the chin, curving through. Heavy out the spine, weights in front of those hips, hanging into those feet. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more nicely slow up. Good, all the way. And we'll do one more, and we tuck that chin, nice stretch out the back. Weight staying in front. Good. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's slowly restack up all the way, nice and tall, all the way up. Good. Then work a bit now into our feet. We're going to lift that one heel up. I want to keep the weight in the toes. I want to have it all in my left heel, back. So when I start to change, it's just leg movement. I want to feel like I'm actually pressing myself up, weight in the toes. One heel up and change. Switching up, so it's almost like we're stepping up steps and switch. And change. Good work through those calves. Switch. And switch. Nice work. Pressing into the toes. Switch over. And change. And switch. And change. Nice Nice work, and switch, and change. Good work through it, switch, and change, and switch, and switch. Good, nice work through it, switch. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and both heels down. Take a break. I'm going to get a bit more height out of that foot. So if you were going to a certain height, try and get more extension out those ankles now. One heel up, and let's do it again. Changing over, pressing into those toes. Nice and balanced. Don't want to feel like we're big toe heavy or pinky toe heavy. Nice even distribution of weight over those toes. And we're switching over hips. Don't sway either. Keep them nice and ahead. Shoulders staying back. Chin always a little bit in. Nice alternating through those ankles. Keeping those knees going straight ahead. Don't want to have them snaking in or out into the hips. And switch. Nice change over. Push into those feet. Keep going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And both heels down. A little bit of balance. We're going to keep those arms still hanging next to us. Shift the weight into the toes and lift up those heels. Find that balance in those feet. Toes working hard. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. And again, lifting up. Good work under those feet. Toes holding on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Careful not to sway with the hips forward, so we don't have our hips going in front. Nicely over those heels. And lift those heels up. Working to those toes. Toes might be tight. Also during the winter, feet get a bit stiff. 2, 1, and lower down. Let's do 4 more. And lift. Nice pressure into the toes. Good extension out those calves. And lower. 3 on the way. And lift. Get that right. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Last 2, and lift. Nice height. Out those heels. 3, 2, 1, and lower. 1 to go, and lift. Keep that height for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Let's stretch out the feet a little bit now. Keep them still square. Toes go into the floor. See my knees not out to the side. It's nicely under my hip. Also my ankle doesn't fall out away from under my hip. We keep it nice and line. Good pressure over the top of that foot. I feel a bit of pull, a bit over the knuckles of the toes as well. 3, 2, 1, and let's change it over. Good even balance. Feel like the foot's under you, so it's not too far behind, also not too in front. And keep it just under that hip area. 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Good change in that foot. Pressure into it. Feel that pull. For 3, 2, 1, and switch over. Good pressure into the toes. Nice bit of flexion. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and last 1. Switching over. Pressure into the foot. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. We're going to go fetch our band now. Hopefully it's close by. You can take this band in both hands. We're going to fold it or wrap it around both of our thighs. Good. So try and first go down and around so that the knot's on top. It doesn't have to be excessively tight, just that there's a bit of resistance from your legs. Good. Our stretch comes down on the very edge of a mat, or the front edge. You want to have that length. You're going to have those feet a little bit open, so you want to feel resistance from that strap. So a bit of expansion. Now, don't have the knees caving in and the feet are wide, so the width of the knees, I want you to push with the outside of the legs, put those glutes, but that's the same weight. We're also going to bend our knees a little bit, but my hips aren't going to fall behind me or go behind me, my shoulders in front. I'm going to keep that nicely elevated. Arms are going to be in front of us. Now we don't get to bounce up, we slide across. Tracy's going to step to the right, and then we step in, and to the right, and in, and step, and in. Now you keep that nice straight back, hips as much as we can under the shoulders, so we don't feel like we're just popping our hips out. Once you get to that end, you can clap, and then move back, over to the left side. Still keeping that bit of a squat. Not too much knee bend. I don't want to feel like we're in a deep squat there, just enough that we keep those hips and get to the end and stepping across. If you have a larger area or a longer area that you can work in, do go off the mat either side just so you make those same direction ones the same, a little bit longer each way. but mat length is fine as well. And across. We got one more to come back, and then we're going where we started. Keep the back nice and straight. Nothing in the shoulders still. And then we go back. Nice work from those quads. All the way. And stop. And stand. Lower those arms down. Good. We'll do another set of those. Should be working a bit with the quads as we work there, and a bit of the glutes as we get that extension. Don't make the steps too small. We want to feel resistance from that strap. And we bend our arms across, bend those knees, and step across. Nice work from it. And even if it's off the mat, it's fine. Do try and keep the same kind of spacing as we go through and across. Back is nice and straight, legs working hard into those quads, and those glutes pressing out into that band. Good. And again, let's go back. And in, and let's go back to where we started. Arms nice and relaxed, just under the shoulders, and stop there, and we stand up, relax those arms. Good. We're going to do one more set. Quite a bit of work for those legs as we get through the series. And last set, bend those legs, arms are bent, hips aren't behind the shoulders, nicely under, and we step across. Nice movement from the outside of that hip, so inside, twisting and across. Back stepping across, back, and moving across, nice horizontal. Don't want to feel like I'm hopping up and down, you want to keep it nice and even as you go across. Nice horizontal slide, and let's go back. Nice work. Good. And back in. We've got one more back and forth to go. And stepping across, legs are going to work and burn, and we get to it more. And left, keep that length, and in, pause there, stand up, and lower those arms down. Good. The next one's going to be a bit of balance now. We bring those feet a little bit closer together. We're going to keep a straight leg, so it's not going to be the leg we're moving. We're going to flex it a little bit. So we're going to bring it in, a little bit of weight is shifted down onto that left leg, and move that right leg back. Keeping it straight. So keep this leg straight for me. So it's flexed and press and back in. So you can touch down in the middle where we started. When we go back, just for a bit of balance, we want to get the back of that hamstring and glute to work. So weights mainly on the left foot and press back, resistance from that strap, and bring it back in. Now you'll see we don't get to turn when that leg goes out. My hips are now shifted, I keep it square, I don't lean too much forward, I keep it nice and stable, my hip pelvis shouldn't change. I want it just to move from the back of that leg. And in. So this left leg that I'm standing on is going to do a bit of work for me, and we press back and in. Try to get into that glute and a bit of that hamstring, and press back. Foot to touch, just to get that balance again, so the left foot doesn't work too hard. And press. But we don't go overboard and just relax when we're there. It's always most of the weight on that left foot, and bring it back in. Slight touch from that toe, and press. And back in. And extend that leg out. And back, now working to the right side, and in, last two, pressing back, and in, and last one, press, and back. Good, relax there. Just stand for me in the center, please. Symmetrical. Good, we're going to do the same thing now, just the opposite leg. So how do we start? We shift a bit of weight onto our right leg. Left leg comes under the body, we flex that foot a bit, so the toes are almost being pulled towards that knee, and then move that leg back. And bring it in touch, and back, keep staying as square as we can make them, and in, and press, and back. I feel the resistance from that strap, and press into it, and in, and pressing out, and back. Good, so we want to get a bit of that hamstring activation, back of the leg, press, and pressing out. Good, and press. Nice work, and press. Let's do 4 more, pressing. Back, and 3, and let's say 2, and last one, press, and back in. Good. Same thing we do, and each leg's going to get another turn. So again, imagine there's a gear here, I only want to move from the hip socket, I don't want the back to start to cave in, and my ribs popping forward. Shift away to the left foot, nice activation on this left leg glute, and supporting on the hips. Right leg goes just behind us, pressing into that strap and release. If your strap's too loose, do stop, retie it again just to get a bit more tension. You want to feel resistance. You always want to move that leg and press. And pressing back. And in, very good. And again, pressing back into that back hip. And in and press. And back. Last 3. And in, 2 left. And back last 1. Bring that leg in and relax. Shifting onto the right leg, shift across, left leg flexes, foot, and press it back. Not to touch, just for that balance. And press. Everything else staying as straight as we can, nothing caving or breaking at the ribs. And back. Good. Nice hip extension. Out of it, back. And press. And back. And extend. And in. Good. Last 3. And back, 2, and back, and last 1, and back in, and relax those legs. Good. We're going to keep those feet nice and square now. We're going to start moving our leg out to the side. So we're going to shift our weight first to our left leg. We're going to move this right leg out. So the toes can touch. I don't want to turn that leg. The leg must be parallel with that leg. Then we're going to lift it up. So it must leave the floor. You can go back down to touch and lift. And lift. So feel that resistance. Trying to keep this toe, the lift up, trying to keep that foot as parallel as we can, and touch, and lift, and touch. I don't want it to turn out, so then we're kind of cheating it. So it keeps it parallel, almost like you're pushing it against the wall. So it's a nice square foot as it extends out. So a real square hip opener. You might not have massive range. You might want to burn on the side there, that's fine. And back into balance, and press. So we're going to try and keep these hips square as well, so this hip doesn't pop out too much, and open up, and in. Lots of work for that left leg as well, supporting the whole body weight, and open. If you need something to stand against, try and find a pole or a wall, just so that there's a bit of stability there. Otherwise, nice balance on that left foot, and last 4, and let's bring it 3, and 2, and 1, and back in, relax, opposite side now, changing over. So nice smooth shift across to the right leg, left leg goes out first a bit, so there is a bit of opening, toes can touch the floor, and then we open that hip up to the side. Back down, and press. Good. Should be a bit of work for this leg, especially with that resistance. And back, and open. Good work through it, and open up. Nice and even, and open. Good, last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and back in. Good. One last one each leg, so weight shifts onto that left side. Right leg goes out, square that leg up, and press it out. And in. So that resistance from that strap we're going to feel, keeping those feet square as much as we can. It's almost like we're pushing it against the wall, and back, and open. And open up. Nice work. Open and open up. Last 4, 3, good work, 2, and 1, and bring that leg in. Left leg's turn. First leg goes out. Nice weight on that right leg, and pressing out, back in, and open, back, open, and back. Very good. Open, back, open. Good, nice work. Lift and open. Nice work from the side. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and back in. Good. We're going to get onto the floor now. Keep that strap where it is. We're going to be on our side. Good. On the elbow, if it's too much on the elbow, if your elbow feels a bit sensitive, you can go onto your arm or the hand. So just to show us what that looks like now. You can go into that position. If the wrist, again, if you're once in this position, you think, okay, that's better, but you are feeling a bit of work of wrist, do move that hand a little bit further away, just so that we don't have a sharp angle on it. If we bring it too close, and we right hand shoulder, the wrist can get a bit of work there. So kind of medium's good, a nice spacious gap between the shoulder, but we want to start on the elbow, so we'll start on the elbow if we can maintain it. The joints that are going to do a lot of work is this bottom shoulder, doing a lot of body weight work and supporting your body. Don't collapse into it. Trace will show us what it looks like. Don't be there to start with. It's going to be very hard to get the extension one out of it. So you start by lifting up out of it so that the shoulder blade is in a much better position. This shoulder is in line as well. It's not cascading forward. Nice and in line with those hips. Don't have the legs too compressed or too in a spring position. You're going to have them a little bit away. So you can have a nice little unpressured gap behind those legs. Feet are not too far forward, so imagine your hips and your spine against the wall. The feet would be against that same wall. We're going to add a bit of a comment in. This is going to be a side lift, and then we're going to start opening in those knees. That's why we keep that strap there. We only lift up the hips, the knees stay on the floor. Don't let this top knee get too light, it stays touching that bottom knee. So we can do a nice first tester. We press out of that shoulder, lifting up those hips. Top arm goes up towards the ceiling. Keep it there. 3, 2, 1, lower down. And again, lifting up, pressing out that shoulder. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Let's do 3 more. And lift. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. 2 on its way. Lift. And lower. Last one. And lifting up. And lower down. Good. So now we can feel, is the shoulder able to take the weight? Are we doing well? If it's too much on the joint, do adjust that angle, just so there's not all this weight on the shoulder. We can do the same thing now, a little bit of endurance. We're going to lift up first, then we're going to open that top knee, not the bottom one, just the top knee opens up. 3, 2, 1, close those knees, then we lower those hips down. Now, I know how the body can get tired, so I don't want to see us lift 1, 2, 3, and then close it down. We want to do proper extension out of it, keeping these hip bones square against the wall, so this top hip doesn't roll back. Let's lift up that bottom hip, arm goes up, and open that top knee up. 1, and 2, and 3, back in, and lower the hip, down. Good, so just 3 at a time, no need to push it too far. Also give that shoulder a bit of chance to relax. Again, adjust your strap if it's too tight or too loose. We're lifting up that bottom hip once again, arm goes up, and open that top leg. 3, 2, 1, and lower down, lower that arm. Good. Let's go again. And we lift up and knee opens. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. Arm comes with. Let's do 2 more and lifting up. Knees open. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Last one and lifting up. Open those knees. 3, 2, 1. And lower the knee, lower the arm. Good, so it's a lot of work with that shoulder, also that bottom oblique, bit of work with the glute now. We're going to mix it up one last step, this will be the last variation. Shoulder feeling sore, adjust that arm. When we open up the knees now, the knee's going to lift and the top foot is going to lift up as well. So that leg's going to move in a nice unison pattern as we lift it up. Deep inhale, pressing out the shoulder, lifting up first, arm goes to the ceiling, knee and foot lift up. 3, good, down, 2, down, and 1, down, lower those hips, lower that arm. Very well done. And we lift up that bottom hip and open up those legs. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Very good. Bottom leg's also working, keeping that alignment. The bottom oblique's gonna fire. Let's do 3 more. We're lifting up. Top leg goes up. 3, with that foot. 2, 1, and lower down. Lower the arm, lower the hip. Last 2, and lifting up, knee goes up. 3, 2, 1, and lower the knee, lower the foot. Very good. Last one, pressing out that shoulder, lifting up, leg up. 3, 2, 1, lower down, relax those hips, lower them, lower the arm. Very well done. Let's spin around on those hips, keep the strap around the knees. We're going to go onto our other hip. So again, the pressure might have moved, the strap might have shifted. Do keep a bit of pressure in it, don't want to be too loose, so that we do feel a bit of resistance in it. Our starting position is important. We're trying to be on the elbow. If the elbow is getting sore, add more padding under it or towels. If it's too much on the shoulder, try to go to the arm. It's a little bit less angle on it, but do watch out for that wrist. Knees are staying together, feet are together still. First one, we're just going to do up the oblique side lift. So we lift up that bottom hip, top arm goes forward. Good. Trace the hip stay square, in line with the shoulder. Don't let the shoulder fall forward or this arm go behind the body, and lower down with that arm. And we're lifting up, nice extension out of that shoulder, Keeping that reach, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. And lifting up, pressing out that shoulder, arm goes up, good extension, 3, 2, 1, and lower. We're lifting up. Once again, good reach out that arm, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Last 2, lift, expansion out that shoulder, 2, 1, lower, last 1, and lifting up. Keep the arm reaching out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Very nice. Now we are going to include the knee work. So again, feet stays at pivot point, knee just opens up, hips at the back, don't roll. Deep inhale, pressing out that shoulder, lift up the hips first, arm, now the knee separates, 3, down, 2, and 1, together, lower the hip, lower the arm. Very good. Lifting up once again, nice push out the shoulder, knee separates, 3, 2, 1, and down, lower the hips as well. We're lifting up, knees open, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Still good work from that shoulder, bottom oblique working as well. And we're lifting up last 3, and 3, 2, 1, and squeeze together, lower down. Knees touch before we go down, and last 2, lift, open up that knee, 3, 2, 1, knees together, lower down, last 1, and lifting up, and 3, 2, 1, and lower the hips, lower the arm. Very good. Last version now. When that knee lifts up, that foot lifts up at the same level as well. Almost like we're raising something up. Pressing out the shoulder, do change the arm position, take the break. And let's lift up first, squared up, and then the leg lifts up, 3, 2, 1, and lower the leg, then lower the hips. So I want that deviation or the differentiation in that lift. So we first lift up, we pause there, nobody lifts up, then we lift as a leg unit. 3, good, 2, want that break, and 1, lower down, lower the hip, and there goes the arm. Good. Last 3, lifting up, and leg separates, 3, 2, 1, and lower down, lower the hip, lower the arm. Last 1, and we lift up, and leg goes up, 3, 2, 1, and lower down, lower the hip, lower that arm. Very good. We're going to undo the strap. We're going to sit down, legs are going to be straight out in front of us. We're going to have the strap hooked under the foot while we're sitting up tall. So we'll start on the right leg. Leg will be nice and straight. Left leg will be bent. Good. Now we're going to lift from that hip flexor. I want to sit up nice and tall. You can be a little bit back. So if you have to lean a little bit back, that's fine. You will have a little bit of ab work then if it's too tight on the back of the hamstring. I don't want this right leg bent. I want it to keep it as straight as we can. We're flexing this right foot. Grip in the hands. Mustn't be too tight. Mustn't be too much of work. But it must feel that that strap is being a bit of tension under it. So a bit of weight. We're flexing that foot. We're lifting that right foot just off the floor. Very good. 2, 1, and lower down. So let the strap help you, but don't let it help you too much. And we're lifting up. Keeping that back nice and straight. And lower down. Good. So Tracy's doing a good job on that back. Might feel tight under that lower spine. So do lean back a little bit, holding onto that strap. You lift off. And lower down. Good work. And lift. And lower. So it's just from that hip flexor, top of the leg working, lifting up. And lower. And lifting up. And drop. Let's do 3 more. And lift. And lower down. 2 to go. Up. And drop. And last 1, lift, keep it there, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Still keeping that position on the foot. We're going to work a bit in a rotational fashion. We're going to lift up. We'll go circles one way, circles the other way, and then lower down. I don't want to see big circles in that hip. Nice controlled circles. Feel that rotation of that hip socket in that hip. And lift that leg up. Let's go one direction, small circles. Straps helping a little bit. Maybe just to guide. Back stay straight, 2, 1, pause. Let's reverse. Change direction, nice work, 3, 2, 1, hold, lower down. Good, nice work from that hip, and we lift that leg up. If the leg's long and heavy, it's going to be tougher. Small circle, rotating through it, 3, 2, 1, pause, and reverse, 3, 2, 1, hold, lower down. Very good, let's do 2 more, and we lift up, small circle in that hip, 3, 2, 1, hold, and reverse, 3, 2, 1, hold, and lower down. Last set, we'll do 2 rotations per side. We lift up first, small circle in that hip. 5, 4, 3, keeping the back straight. 2, 1, pause, reverse. Nice small circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and reverse again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and last one back. 3, 4, 2, 1, hold and lower that leg down. Good. Having the strap now, if it hasn't been already, you want to have it a bit more over the tops of the toes. So open up that strap as wide as we can. So if you have to look from this side, you wouldn't be able to see the tops of the toes. We're going to flex this foot back, and then we're going to push that foot into those straps. Now you want a bit of resistance. If it's too easy, do hold that strap a little bit tighter. Still keeping that back relatively straight. And bend and press. So working into that calf and those toes. Really feel like when you press your foot, don't feel like your toes are coming back and making a flat surface. I want you to push with those piggies so that they go all the way down, and then we flex it back. And press. Really get those toes to do a bit of work for us. And back. Press. Your feet are tight, they might not want to work as well. Got to get that strength in them and press. Hard work in those toes. And press. Good work and heavy finger toes and press. Good contraction back as well. Don't feel like we're stopping short, that the muscles are resisting us. When we bring it back, and then we press out to that full range. That foot back still staying straight, holding onto those straps. And press. Good work with those toes. Last 2 and 1 and relax. Taking a breather there. Relaxing that leg. We do another set of those. Really flattening those toes. Really trying to push. If the strap keeps missing or sliding off, just have it more over the top of the ball of the foot. Deep inhale and press those toes and back. So you're trying to always point those toes as well. Don't want to have them dug in and press. Working hard, tips of the toes and press. Back, pressing out. Back in, good, press. And last 6. Really pushing those toes down. Nice work. Good extension. And 2. And 1, keep it there. Pressing out those toes, trying to straighten as much as you can. 3, 2, 1. Bend that leg back, that foot back. Changing feet over. You can bend the one foot as you see Tracy does now. You swap it while you're still in the strap with the other foot. Straighten that left leg, right leg is bent. Back is still trying to be straight. If you have to lean back so that you just give that lower back a little bit of relief if it's too tight. Flexing the foot to begin with. Nice little pressure on those feet. And now we lift that heel just off the ground and lower down. So it doesn't have to go massively up. Up off the ground is not high enough for me. Lift off and lower. And lifting up and drop. Nice work from the hip. Lift and lower down. Lift and drop. Good work. And lifting up and lower. Nice work. Up. Just from that hip flexor and lift. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower that leg down. Very good. We can add a bit of circles now, one direction, other direction. If the back is getting tight, you can lean against something. Try not to, but if your back really can't take anymore, rather lean against something. Try and keep that back as straight as we can. So you can have a pillow or a wall even, but try not to go too long on doing that. You want the back to really do the work for you. And we lift that leg up. Small circle, one direction in that hip. 3, 2, 1, pause and reverse. 3, 2, 1, hold and lower down. Good, nice, relax out the shoulders. Let that strap help us. And lifting up and small circle, one direction in that hip. 3, 2, 1, pause and reverse. Now swing through that hip. 4, 3, 2, 1, pause and lower down. Good, and again lifting up. Small circle in that hip. Keep the rotation. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and lower down. Last one, going two or each side twice. We're lifting that leg up. Small circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and reverse. Leg is still off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and last one each way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and lower down. Good, nice work. Now as Tracy's already got it, we want that strap over the toes so we can get a bit of work into those toes and those little knuckles in it. And we're going to press that foot away and then flex it back, getting as much stretch as we can out of it. And press. Really get those toes straight now. They work hard in that strap and back. And bring that foot back and press. And back in. And pressing with that foot. Back into. You just want to work into the ankle, into that calf and those toes. And pressing down. And heavy press those arms. All the toes down. It might look like arms because they're so strong. And back. And last 3. And in. 2. And last 1. And back and relax that foot. Good. We're going to do one more set of those, really. Trying to flatten those toes as we do extend away. And straighten that foot. Back in. And straight. Back. And press. And pressing out. Nice work. Press. Last 6. 5. Really flex that foot back. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Keep pointing. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And relax that leg and unhook that foot from the strap. Good. Keep the hand strap in your hands. Let's stand up. Good. We're going to do a bit of our arms now. We're going to place it under one of our feet or both of our feet, depending on how much tension or how strong the strap is. So what double would look like is so you would have both feet in. And if you want to make it more tighter, you open up that stance a little bit more. That makes the resistance a little bit harder. If you want it easier, you take out one foot. It's only on under one foot, nicely in the center. Resistance will be a little bit easier. So kind of gauge your strap, which kind of weight you could do. Feel like you are working. Don't just feel like you're moving your arms. Right. We're going to have those palms facing each other. The top of the strap or the end of the strap will come out the top of the hand. So don't want to feel like it's hanging out the back of the hand. It's coming out the top like a bunch of flowers. We're going to have those palms. Now we're going to keep the palms facing each other. Nice straight back. We're going to bend those arms in. So a bit of biceps here. I don't want to have my body falling over. I don't want to have me stopping halfway. Really bring it up to the shoulder. And lower it down. You want to feel that resistance in the strap as well. And bring it up. And up. And lower down. So again, if you want more resistance, also hold low on it. We want to feel the work in the strap. And lower. Nothing changes in the back. It's just those arms. And up. Good, nice, pull through it. Working the front of those arms. Keeping those shoulders from rolling forward. Want to keep that width. And lift. Nice work. Front of that arm. Back staying straight. Legs stay comfortable, so do have those knees slightly softened. And lift. Good, and last 5. And let's go 4. 3. And 2. And 1, hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good, we'll do another set of that range. If you want more, hold it more on that strap. Deep inhale and pulling up and lower down. Nice work through those arms. And lower. And lift. Drop. Good work. Lift. Lower down, working through that bicep. And that shoulder. Nice work. Feel that strap resisting our lifts. 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now we are going to start working with the top of the arms, the deltoids. So if you feel like the strap hold you have already is too tight, do loosen it up a bit. We're going to see if we can maintain it at this level. First we'll bend those arms in as we've done before, and now we're going to straighten those arms out. They don't have to go the same height as the shoulder. They can be lower and back in, but then don't have them being next to us like guns. Want to have them up to where they start. So that's the start position. Even if you extend them low, extend those arms and back in. And reaching up. But you want to try and eventually get to shoulder height, so you want to feel the top of the arm really doing a lot of work. And extend. Back in. And straight. Nice length out that back. And extend out. And back. So continuous resistance from those straps. And let's say 5. Back. 4. Pressing out. And 3. And in. Last 2. And back. And 1. Hold it there. 3. 2, 1, bend it in, relax those arms. Good. Adjust that strap, more or less. Try not to go less, always try and go a little bit more or stay where you are. Last set, we bring it up, and again, straighten out, and back, and extend. Back in, good work, straight. and extend. Nice work. And pressing out. Good work from the front of those shoulders. Keeping that back straight. Back wants to cave forward. You want to keep that back up nice and long. And last 5 and 4. Good work. And 3, 2, and 1. Keep the arms straight. 3, 2, 1. Bend those arms in and lower them down. Try and keep it at the same tension. We're going to open those arms, or not open them up, but our palms are facing each other. We add a bit of rotation, so they're kind of at a 45-degree angle. Going to keep those straps at the top. We're going to now lift up our arms into a V shape, still pulling on those down weights, so lift those arms up. Not too much next to us, slightly more in front, and lower down. It's almost like we're going slightly in front of us and pressing up and down. Working to the top of that shoulder and back and press. Also, we get a bit of slide action from that shoulder blade on the back as it sucks into that. So feel like you're tucking those shoulder blades into the base of the ribs. Up and lower. And lift those arms up. Lower down, very good. Still keeping that chest nice and open. And lower, last 3. And back, 2 left. And in, last 1. Hold those arms up. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. 1 more set of those. If you need more tension, do get some. Deep inhale and lifting up. And lower. And lifting up. And drop. Nice work. Lift up. And lower. And lift. And lower down. Lift. And let's do our last 5. And 4. Very good. Top of the arms. 3. And 2. Last one. Last one, we're going to mix it up, but keep it up. Move those arms to center. Move them open to the side. So a bit more shoulders and elbows still working. And center. Open. Center. And open. Let's go. 5 to the middle. Open. 4 to the center. Open. 3 to the middle. Open. Last 2 center. And open. And 1 middle. Open up. And lower those hands down. Now we're just changing the position of our hand, or the strap coming out of the hand, so no longer is it coming out the top, it's now going to change, so it's out the bottom. Good, perfect. Palms are going to be still facing each other, our arms are going to now move behind us, not from the hip, not from the elbow, but from the shoulder, we're opening up. And bring it back in. So we want to work a bit in the back of the shoulder. There is a tendency for this front shoulder to want to roll forward, we want to try and keep that open. And back in. And opening up behind us. Don't arch that back. And pressing through. And in. Good work, pressing back. Back with the arm. We want to still feel resistance as well. So it's not just moving the arms back, the strap providing that resistance we need. And pressing those arms back, back with the shoulders. Don't fall forward and press. And extend those arms out. And press. And pressing through. Nice work, and press back. And last 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep those arms back with those straps and bring it in. So if you have to hold lower now on the straps so we have a bit more resistance, do so. If you're happy with your tension, keep it there. Nice and tall, and again, pressing back and in. And press those arms back. Again, good work from the back of that shoulder, and extend out, and press, and pressing through. Good, nice work from the back of that arm. 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it there. Now we add little pulses, so arms stay there, pulse. Not from the shoulders rolling forward, just from the back of that shoulder. Pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and again, pulse, 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and last one, pulse, 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and lower down, nice and relaxed. Unhook that strap from those feet. You can take the strap and throw it over your right shoulder. We're going to grab it's over the right shoulder, grab it with the right hand, almost like it's suspenders. We're We can take that left hand behind the back, and we don't have it too low to start with. Just going to hold there. You want to have a bit of tension in that strap. You lift that right arm up, so the elbow stays nice and high. It's not low, it's up above the shoulder. Hand goes above the hand behind it, so it's not forward, it's back. And we're going to straighten that top arm up and back in. Now we'll see Tracy doing well. There's nothing in the shoulder here. This is staying nice and loose, and back in and straighten out. So we want to get into that tricep a little bit. Nothing changes in the back. Abs are holding onto those ribs and extend and reaching up. So we want some resistance from that strap. If your strap is very loose or light, do double it up. So it's a double strap. If it's too heavy, rather hold it quite long so that you can get that full extension. I don't want you to end short with that arm. I want that full extension out that tricep. And back in, last 2 and 1 and back in. Good. Relax this arm. Now we grab a little bit higher on the strap. Arm behind us doesn't go anywhere, still holding on. Same position, so it's a bit, we're climbing up that strap to make a bit more resistance. Arm is high and straighten up. Back. Extend. So it's a bit harder now on this side. Reach and extend. Nice work from the back of that arm. Working, nothing changing in the shoulder, so nothing climbing up into that neck. And straighten. Keep that length. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that arm straight. 3, 2. Now keeping it straight. The arm behind us pushes down a little bit. And in. And press. And back. So this arm stays high. And press. And pressing down. Good work. Let's go 5. And 4. 3. Pushing that arm down. 2. And 1. Hold it there. 3. 2, 1, bend in, bend the top arm, relax it, and relax. You're going to swap over, take that strap over to the left shoulder, left arm grabs it, right arm goes behind the back, still standing tall, grabbing the strap at the back, holding in the front, elbow lifts up above the shoulder, left arm above the shoulder, and straighten up, bending in. So you want to feel that resistance, strap, and back, and press. Good, so this arm that's at the back is just an anchor, it doesn't have to do too much, but it is resisting. It doesn't move up with that hand when we pull. It stays just where it is, so when we pull, that strap has to do the tension for us. And last 5, and 4, good work, 3, and 2, and 1, keep it there, 3, 2, 1, and bend it in. Relax that arm. Grab a little high on the strap. Good. And elbow lift up above the shoulder and straightening out. And back. Straighten. In. Good extension. And straighten up. And extend. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that arm straight for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep the arm straight and let's start straightening that bottom arm. Feel that resistance now. Bottom arm has to work a bit in that shoulder. And straighten. And pressing down. And press. Last 5, 4, 3, good. 2, and 1. Straighten that arm. Keep it long. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that bottom in. Top arm in. Relax it. And relax the strap. We can place the strap away now. Still standing up tall. Going to stretch out the back a bit with all the work we're doing in the back of the body. Let's balance out the feet as we were before. Deep inhale. And exhale. Tucking that chin, rolling forward. Keeping those knees nice and soft. Hanging into those feet all the way down. Now we're not going to come up yet. We're going to stay at the bottom. Let's grab those shins. Just to stretch our hamstring down a little bit. Also get the back a little bit extra length out of it. So straighten the right leg, still holding onto the ankles, but keep that left leg a little bit bent. Don't push it too much, just want to feel a slight pull. Weight a bit in the toes for 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Nice changing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching through that leg, back of the leg, pushing knees bent 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Nice length out the hip, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Right leg's turn, extending out, 3, 2, 1, and switching. Over left leg out to that leg, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching. Over right leg again, 3, 2, 1, and bend. And last one, left leg, 3, 2, 1, bend. Both legs still staying there. We'll just do 2 double straight legs and straighten those legs, 3, 2, 1, and bend. Last one, double straighten. Get that leg out the back for 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend. Let go of the shins. Keep the hand there just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's slowly restack up. All the way, rebuilding that spine. Shoulders are going to be loose. All the way back. Nice and tall. Open the shoulders. Keep that chin tightly down. Well done. We are finished. We'll see you next time.